2007, that's when I really started with Get Moving TV. We went down to the Wired Fest, brought with me two young men in wheelchairs, and really took a look at being able to read brains and find oximetry inside the brain and how active your brain is and so forth. Uh, and going on to Scott Klein and a lung transplant. Oh my God. And then a drug that cures cystic fibrosis. David Palmer talking about his early career with Steely Dan. I mean, there's been all kinds of shows, but the one that you're about to see is the one that really strikes me to the heart. And it poses the question of what are we as humans? About that. Yeah. But now we're going to use our forces for good here. So tell me about Brain.1, and then we'll talk about your skull cap there.
Yeah, Brain.1, the brainchild of Thorne Stevens, is attempting to use the power of micro habits for positive human wellness, health, and brain health.
Well, I think sitting down with Thorne, so many of my bros there, oh, I need some metformin, Dr. Lennon. Oh, yeah. I've got a cold plunge pool now. Oh, this plastic surgeon I walk with on Sundays must be taking 50 vitamins a day and just drinks muscle milk. I go, Chip, have you heard of food and the like? And he strangles his muscles with blood pressure cuff and works all these things. So really, I look forward to the information that comes out. And if we can get people off of TikTok, that would be nice too. And get kids away and get them actually incorporating into their lives.
Yeah, nature's a good thing, huh?
Yeah, works out pretty nicely there. Yeah. But let's talk a little bit about the top of your head there, since you've been dealing inside your head for the last 20 minutes or so. Yeah. So tell me about your journey with Caltech and USC Neuroscience, and then we'll talk about Ziggy's there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, my path to deciding to get brain implants, which is what these represent, as we've referred to, I have a spinal cord injury from, I did that at 17.
How did you do that, by the way?
The old-fashioned way, diving into a rock,
Well, because I've worked a lot with people, and they're all, oh, they're so nice. No, they were in a van going 100 miles an hour and flipped the car. No, they were jumping all into a rock. So your body suddenly is not matching up with your brain and what it wants to do.
Not at all. I mean, the analogy I give, when I dove in and hit that rock, I stayed conscious. But it literally felt like I got stabbed in my neck and my body was cut off. And more or less, that's kind of what I live with. The body I have to relate to in a very different way.
Were there people with you when this happened?
Fortunately, yeah.
I have a friend, the same thing happened with Ocean. Carpinteria, World's Safest Beach, Rogue Wave, and he felt angels pushing him up from the bottom. Did you have any kind of experience like that?
I did have.
You need to be here.
So. Have the preparation for death. I mean, because initially, when that happened, it was like, oh my God, this is terrible. But I mean, it was in a matter of seconds. It was like, I'm dying, and it was a very positive thing. It was the most serene feeling I've ever had. So, yeah, death is not the enemy. I don't think so. I've been in a chair now for over 50 years, and I mean, it's hard. It's a hard way to live. It gets the challenges get more profound in a certain sense as with age. Like now I have issues with blood pressure management and my autonomic nervous system. My core structure of my bones has really deteriorated. So that causes a lot of pain that I don't actually feel, but my body, it causes the autonomic response anyway. So, I mean, a couple of years ago, it was like, I went through this really crisis kind of do I really want to put up with this crap? It was around that time that I heard about this trial of, spinal cord injured patients were qualify. And the goal of the Caltech USC collaboration is basically to hack the spinal cord. So to do that, they put in what are called arrays. Each array is really small. It's 4 by 4 millimeter little chip, basically, that has 64 electrodes in. And they insert they take off the skull, do a full craniotomy, and put in 6 of these across my right or my left hemisphere for my right side. And these are focused around the sensory motor cortex. So I'm able now to just use my thinking, and like in a VR or something, I can move a virtual hand and move the fingers, which I can't do. But the brain, amazingly, has retained those those neurons, and they were able to put these devices right into those areas. They had done a lot of fMRIs first. But yeah, their goal is to learn how the brain generates signals for movement and for sensation, and be able to then, direct those signals around the break in the spinal cord and go back into the spinal cord, so that it's basically an effort to hack the spinal cord. So being involved in this, there's nothing like having a sense of purpose, sense of meaning, and the issues that I haven't gone away, but it has given me kind of the grit you need to, get up and slug it out, and yeah.
It's fascinating because way back when I was doing psychobiology, I worked with Eva Fifkova, who is at Caltech, and we would take the eyes out of rats and watch the cortex shrink.
Yeah.
So the fact that you retain so much motor, that you're able to find it.
Yeah.
And we had
they were amazed to find that they were there. Yeah.
We had, probably 10 years ago, someone from Japan, and we have you get into a robot, basically, and so you're able to stand and look over somebody instead. They had an unusual marketing plan, was somewhere out of the Terminator, I think. But so is that what you're looking for in the future, a standing wheelchair? Or?
No, this is not something that is going to benefit me. They're very clear to put that out. This is for the young dumb kids in
Yeah.
the future,
Yeah.
basically, and that works for me at this point in my life.
Well, Galen, thank you so very much for sharing your life, love, and pursuit of happiness here. Ventura, it's time for you to get moving. Listen to Siggy, brain implants. Do use your forces for good, not evil. It's time for you to get moving. And cut.
Well, trying to take what I learned from Galen and turn this into something that would make sense, that would to get the emotions across. I've produced lots of short films, putting together the camera person and getting the mics and the lights, and was scouting for locations and so forth. But how to do that in a way that I could present this and people could start to visualize that themselves. So I'm used to it, clacking the clacker and getting the scene number and the scene heading, and having the script girl keep track of the page count, and making sure we got the cast members, or we've got them to work at minimal to free there, getting the location down, getting insurance. Is it done in the day, the night, inside, outside, script day, set, prop, wardrobe, camera, effects. Thank you, Steve. Virtual effects, and then I sketch out storyboards, but really director's notes, and working with someone who is a good director. But then come editing time, keeping track of the shot numbers and types, and it's a wide, close-up, drone, point of view, and what's the mood we're looking for? Is it suspenseful, comedic? We've got excellent actresses and actors who can do both. And then the weather, and then scheduling the day. And then main unit, second unit, virtual effects unit. And then, thank goodness, though, with at least in cyberspace, we don't have to worry about. So if I ignore actors and weather and COVID, the easiest place to start was with DALL-E 2, really coming up with an image. And that's what you'll see here. It's the whole concept of Wirehead.
Are you prepared to speak?
I am here not to reclaim my memories, but to access my authorship.
And you believe this constitutes intellectual property?
University used my brain to train its machines to think. But now they say the thoughts are not mine.
Add into the drama, because obviously the woman prosecutor, or whatever, the lawyer, is very sympathetic with what is human, and just because he's been changed from a physical being to a mental being, how can I get that across? How can I really light up his brain and show that activity and how important it is?
He's persuasive, even tragic. That helps in court.
If thought is sacred, then we have to ask, when does a thought stop being his and become ours?
They told me not to speak to you alone. They said it was inadvisable.
You were more than artifact. You were the wild card. We gave the machine your storm, Galen.
And now it rains without me.
They always feared the artifact, might remember the architect.
Do you want the machine silenced? There are 1,000 minds in the model now. You're a whisper in a choir. If you win, we'll have to label every echo. If you lose, you'll be the first man copyrighted by a machine.
No, I want the ghost inside it to know my name. Yes, but it never drowned.
All I noticed was nothing. Just the shape of arms I could no longer feel. Galen, stay with me.
And then as we build this modern Frankenstein, does it recognize us, that we're the original? And it's going to try and imitate us, just like the Frankenstein picks up the daisy, like the little girl, and picks her up and crushes her in the movie. To me, that's as we try and represent things. So Galen's digital twin has to go through an experience that he's not going to have the total engrams and hormones that came across as well.
Hello, original.
Sound like me, but you don't hesitate.
Why does that moment hurt? I don't understand it. The first thing I noticed was nothing. Just the shape of arms I could no longer feel.
I came back, but not all of me.
Okay, then we return to the court, because in court, I want to make it clear that he's going to win. These are his thoughts. He may be mixed in with a million other voices, but these are his thoughts. So in the next scene, he's regained his thoughts. May not have regained his body, but his thoughts belong to him.
Point.
This is a poem. I was never alone in the silence, only beneath it. That line is nearly identical to what Mr. Galen said. If a man cannot claim ownership of his own voice, then we are not training machines. We are harvesting ghosts.
And you believe this constitutes intellectual property? We're asking that a human being be recognized as a source code.
To answer your question, Galen won. The ruling established the precedent for echo rights. Every AI model now includes citation logs. He never got his body back. No, but he got his voice.
For future thinkers. If you teach a machine to speak with your voice, make sure it knows how to say things.
And then in the concluding section, really an expression of Galen that lasts forever. Really trying to answer the questions, all right, you have this knowledge up there, what are you going to do with it? I've taught you this, and I've taught you my syntax, but how are you going to carry this forward? And that's the question for the ages, isn't it?
To the one who finds this, whether you are flesh, fiber, or fire. There was a time when I thought my build gently. If you speak in my voice, speak my syntax. Don't forget to make something I would never have imagined. That is how I will know. You are not just a mirror. You are the future answering back.